Rightio. Obviously, I've been at the club for 75% of its existence, as of a couple of people in this room and a couple near that. A couple of years ago, Woody and I were talking about putting together a Hall of Fame thing. So I did a weighted spreadsheet. I think only myself and Ghost and Mick have seen, but it was weighted so that, you know, to tune out the list of our greatest players. That's a different conversation from who our best players are, but in this case they're certainly in the mix. And then at the end of the day, you spat out two blokes that were clearly our greatest players statistically, and in terms of he's right on cue. I'm waiting. Right up there, I wasn't talking about it. I should say that Freshy is an apology. He thought it tribute to Zed in going on a brewery tour or something. And it's not. It's pretty stock standard for Freshy to miss milestone. He virtually missed his own milestone when he walked off an hour into it. So, but we'll see Freshy later on, ideally. But as I was saying, we put together this spreadsheet and spat out two players that are clearly our greatest players in terms of their contribution. And it was, you know, weighted heavily towards the ones and so on. And there's no recency bias in it. And I'm now going to ask one of those two players to talk about the other one. So here is Darren.
I'll try and be quick. Obviously, we're all here to celebrate Zed's 400 games. It's a pretty great effort to get to 400 and then keep going. I got there and said, I'm done. Zed came to the club as our coach way back in the mid-90s, so we were all young, 20-odd-year-olds, and he had to try and rein us in a bit. And we worked out pretty quick that you got tired when you were doing the wrong thing. But the other side of the coin was when you had a win, that was pretty well celebrated. So the other thing about Zed, we've all seen Angry Edda. Angry Finals Edda is my favourite.
Oh, that's a bit long.
No, a bit now, but drop and catch up Zed in the final, and
You didn't call the first ball, you have to pay attention.
So one day Packer in the grand final, he went up for an LB and I went up for an LB and I was keeping, and he goes, "Figure out how to peel, get the ball!" I was like, alright, so 50 hours later, the same thing happened, I run to get the ball, he goes, "No, I'm like, you're gonna go too!" So, no, so that's some good times, lots of triple A's, lots of memories. We had a medal on the triple A called the Pete Smith Medal for best on ground. Every year it was there to but yeah, we had some great times on the Triple A's, so that's pretty much all I got. There's plenty more stories I could go on about, but I'll just finish by saying, Zed, you've been a pleasure to play with, pleasure to be one of your best mates, and all the best for the rest of your long lasting.
Thank you for that, Bungle. Yeah, I guess open the bowling. I know Campbell's probably played in excess of a couple of hundred games, and I've probably had the pleasure of opening the bowl with Zed a couple of hundred times, and we'll do it again. One more time at least today. Hopefully we'll probably do it again in the future. But Zed bowling, you know, we probably goes without saying, it's one of the all-time greats, if not the best bowler we've had.
It's the best bowler I've seen.
Yeah, so it speaks for itself. So I'm not going to talk about his bowling. The thing so strangely enough, a lot of the memories I have of Zed were actually battling with him, and we had a shitty moment when he got a shocking decision in the grand final, and we were still hopeful we'd get the runs, which was 1 wicket in hand. But we did go on and win some flags. And one of those, we were premiers and champions, we were undefeated. And we wouldn't have been except we were playing Emerald, and it got down to the last over. And we had 1 wicket in hand, and it was myself and Zed, and I struggled to get off strike, and I think I ended up getting the lead by or something. And I think with 1 ball left in the match, we needed 5 or 6 to win. They hit it straight over long on fence out to the Red Rooster where his kids used to hold their vision. And for a 6, and it meant that we went through that season undefeated, and it was a bloody good feeling that day. It was a good feeling at the end of the season, and it's a great feeling to still have them run around with us in E-grade these days. Don't go too well, I can still try and get you up to grade, but we like you just where you are there. So thanks, congratulations on 400 games. quite a very sensible Shorty and Carly and Brownie in the end there, so well done. Top notch effort in the field, I bowled really well and scored well. A hell of a lot better than last week, and I think we gave Evan the result that he deserved in his 400. So well done. Here's the match ball, and we're going to need a texture or something. I think we're going to sign it for the set or anything like that. So we'll do that over the course of when we get a texture.